right. Here we are, everyone. Just hanging out here, having a good old time. Doing our thing here in the studio. I am just relaxing, and I've been working on getting live streaming stuff done for the podcast channel, which is the Cavecast. And it's been a really cool, really fun day. I'm really excited to see the future of things. But threw on some scary music here. This is just 1 hour of dark piano. This is some royalty-free stuff you can find on YouTube. And yeah, this is just going to be just a relaxing session. Probably going to be on here for like half hour, an hour. If anybody wants to jump on, we will see. But other than that, this is going to be an interesting live stream. I'm really trying to test out some things and to see. Oh, apparently there's a car going by. It makes me wonder about what it would be like to have to record stuff whenever you're in like the city or something. So, but we can turn this camera on. So there I am. Hello, everyone. You guys can see me all in my beautiful splendor here in the old office here, and we can turn that back off. Give us a little not slide, give us a little fade effect there. So it looks like somebody just jumped on. So if you're here, make sure you say hello. That way I can talk with you and let you know what to expect and have ourselves a good old conversation. But yeah, this is just a little test stream. Been working on stuff for the podcast, and stuff is working out really, really well. So this is it's pretty awesome. So as you can see, we got the board down here again. This is a whole different setup than what I was doing on my laptop in the basement. So this is a whole new kind of deal. So if you guys enjoy stuff like this, definitely make sure you let me know, because we'll definitely do this more often, because it's much easier to be able to do this now. So, but yeah, we got the piano going on in the background. We can bring that up, or we can bring it down. Talk about some scary stuff, Could be good. Yeah, this is cool. Let's see if anybody jumps on. If not, it'll just be me, myself, and I. And I am very used to that. So, not afraid of being a little alone. We actually did an entire podcast on being alone. It was great. I can still talk to people and not have to be anywhere near them. It's beautiful. There we go. I feel like I'm like a producer or something. I'm moving sliders. Ooh, that's spooky. As I hit my mic. Just playing with some lights here. See what this does. Hear that, or... That's spooky. Not really. Go. All right. Scary stream. It's a scary stream. Mainly it's all just about the music. If the music wasn't here, it wouldn't be scary at all. But we can get some scary conversation going here. So did have something pretty creepy happen right in the living room. Willow and Thor, both our pit bulls, they were at this random moment just like looked over into the corner at the couch, and they were just like laser focused on it, and it was really, really creepy. And you know, the usual thing is like, you know, you either like give them a snap or like, hey, like, you know, what are you guys doing, you know, because that means they can like either get to wrestling or something. But they weren't. They were like laser locked in, and it was really odd. We've had some activity in this house before, so it's been interesting. Just because I do fake Bob the Demon stuff doesn't mean that I don't encounter real things in my life. So, but as I've said before, this channel is mainly for fictional stuff or for real life experiences from stories I can tell, or just, you know, the different, you know, assortment of content. But my main goal is to entertain. So any way that happens is the way that I want it to. And a lot of people seem to have an issue with that. I guess I just can't post anything fictional. I don't know. It's interesting. Makes me think of it where it's just like, yeah, but you enjoy movies, so, or you enjoy something fictional or books or, you know, comic books or TV shows or anything to that effect. But there will always be entertainment on this channel one way or the other. So, but yeah, it's a scary kind of experience. It was super late. I was playing video games, and I looked over at the couch, and that's when I could just see that the dogs were just staring at something, and it was not normal. Sometimes, like, if there's a bug or if there's something to that effect, you know, they will go over to, you know, like either paw at it or chase it, especially Ambrose, my fat cat. He is really, really just on the hunt for any kind of bug he can find at any time. And that's what I thought was happening. But it wasn't. There was no bug. There was nothing there. I checked it, flipped on the lights. There was nothing there. And needless to say, I went to bed a little bit after that. And it was pretty crazy. So, yeah, if you guys do have scary stories, or if you have anything that's freaky that's happened to you, if you want to send it my way, make sure you send it to my email as I hit the mic. Because that's the one thing I've been wanting to do is I love doing no sleep stories, but I've actually just had no luck with people giving me the permission to do it. Some of the stuff has been like, oh, I already sold the rights to this, or somebody's already doing it, or, you know, I prefer not. So I don't know. It's been weird. No Sleep kind of had a, you know, good run for a while where people were really cool about me using their stories, and it's just been a little more of a challenge now. And I've also been focusing on podcast stuff, and going to be doing some writing tonight. So I'll be excited to get on the hunt for the next chapter of the story I'm working on, which is going to be really, really awesome. So let's see here. I'm going to grab... Where are you? Let's say, if anybody is here hanging out, please say something. I would love to talk to you. So you just let me know. There we go. That's a little better. Learning the whole new animal and getting everything down. So what's really funny is I get rid of this screen, and then it's like, whoa, that's really, really dark. June Shelley Dorsey says, greetings, fellow human. Hello, and thank you for joining as well. I hope your day is going great. Got any cool, scary, paranormal stuff you want to talk about, or anything that's happened to you personally, or just some scary stories in general? I'm just chilling on here for like an hour. I may go grab like another cup of coffee or something, but that will be just for the moment. But yeah, so anything cool going on your end? Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. But yeah, I'm going to be doing some writing and stuff later, so that will be a lot of fun. It's the story I've been working on for a while, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but that'll be really cool. That's just pretty much my time to grab the laptop and just go at it and just see what happens. I talk for a living too, and I can't even talk right now. So, see, June says that they were burned by a ghost, they think. So, like, was it a situation where, like, you know, you were at the stove or something, or like what ended up happening with your burn experience? because I've never heard of a ghost burning somebody, so I'm very interested to see what you got to say. I'm gonna go ahead, move this down here. Just go like that. That way I can actually keep up on what's going on here. Yeah, it's I've never really been around anything that has ever physically done anything to me, but I've heard things, seen things, and even then, I mean, they're very far and few between, and they're rare. But when they do happen, it kind of hits you in that thing where you're like, oh, yep, it's happening again. I had a friend of mine that actually he would call me whenever something would happen, or if he was experiencing something that was just really scary or creepy. And one night I remember, let's see. Oh, oh my gosh, it's wanting me to either show or hide it. Let's show it. So, okay, so no heat source. I was living with a group of dumb teens messing with shit they didn't understand. You know what? And isn't that interesting where you really do get to understand the friends of yours that are flippant when it comes to things like that, because I've had people where they're like, oh, let's play with a Ouija board, let's do this, it'll be fun, it's a game because Fisher Price makes it. And I'm like, no. No, I'm not doing that. So I don't know if Ouija board is what was going on there, but you have those people that just don't take that stuff seriously, and they think it's all a big game or a joke, and it very much is not. So, but yeah, I'm thankful that there really hasn't been a lot of crazy stuff that's happened recently, but again, when it pops up, you kind of just have this moment of just oh man, it's kind of almost like going in for a test that you're not even ready for. When something paranormal happens, you're just you have that immediate reaction. I've had friends of mine that are very susceptible to being able to see, smell, hear, or touch, or anything like that with anything that's going on, and they said for them it's kind of just apathetic now. But June says, I had an open back shirt, and with no one touching me, I had two red welts on my back. Still don't know if it was a ghost, a spirit, or something else. I don't know. Depending on what they were doing, I mean, who knows what it could have been. I mean, ultimately, we know nothing to very little about, how the spiritual aspect of things work. But, yeah, getting marks from something that it was not there is definitely something that is, will for sure sober you right up, and you're just like, oh, yep, that's real. Now, I'm curious, did it ever happen again, or was that something that, was it just a one-off thing? Has this continued to happen? Because I mean, because I don't, as long as it wasn't something that followed you or anything like that, because that starts to get to be the worst of that. I've had some friends before that have had things follow them from either when they've done investigations, or they've moved from one town to another, or they've done different things like that, and it's really, really rough. Even my mom actually went through something. There's a story. It's on my channel. It's my mom's story, but it's literally what it's called. But the situation she was in was that it wasn't so much of an entity that wouldn't leave her alone. It was a physical thing, this locket that kept showing up. And so she was never slapped, touched, or scratched, or burned, or anything like that. But this locket just would not go away. So let's see. June says, I left the space not long after. I took Wiccan precautions to make sure it never happens again. And I tell you what, I remember my, well, she's not really my mom, but she's my adoptive mother, BJ. She has been a Wiccan for as long as I've known her, and longer than I've been on this planet. And she very much takes that seriously. And I remember visiting her for, I was doing some work as far as recording her wedding. And when I walked into her house, I looked down at the steps and I saw, different stones and different, quartz and different things like that. I'm probably butchering it, but I asked her, I said, are those there on purpose? And she said, yep. She says, nothing that comes into my house that is not purified first. And it was really interesting. And she takes, her spiritual safety very, very serious. And, that's some people, have different aspects of life. But I find that I connect with people that understand that, this isn't all that there is. And, whatever the case of whatever you're going for, I find that, it's interesting. I love to talk about it, especially when, you look at, different entities, or you look at all that stuff. So yeah, June, she's awesome. She's very much the one that, it's weird. My brother and I both, have had times that she has reached out to us when we've been going through something and we didn't even know. We didn't know that, she even knew about it, or we didn't even convey anything, or it's something we've kept to ourselves. And she's messaged us and been like, hey, how you doing? Is there anything going on right now? Are you all right? Is there this? Is there this? And it's impressive. Doesn't happen all the time. It's a rarity, but it does happen. And that's always the kind of affirmation thing for me, where I'm just looking at it and I'm like, okay, cool. This isn't just, a load of hogwash, but let's see here. So yeah, there's that. I can make the camera go away and then bring it back, all in the fading, aspect of things. But yeah, it was definitely a time of my life, whenever I started to take stuff seriously and started to understand, kind of how the world works, and, what things are trustworthy and what things aren't, according to things I've experienced and what I have, been able to assess. I've always very much taken what she has to say very, very seriously. But yeah, it's really cool. She has, oh my gosh, she had so many scary stories she could tell. She used to work in the medical industry, so she would work at, nursing homes and things like that. And there's, the man with the hat, and there's, people seeing angels, or there's, people, that experience different scary things, or non-threatening things, or people that they think that are there, but it's just chalked up to mental things, which it could be. But I mean, I think every situation is different. I don't think that you can put a label on everybody's experience when their mind is golden. They're in their golden years. But yeah, it's a really, really fun time. I find that I am very open to when people say hey, I saw this at my work. It's well, yeah, man, if there's ever going to be a place that entities could show up or anything, it's definitely going to be a nursing home, or a hospital, or a graveyard, or things like that, where it's there are clearly people that have either died here, or their remains are here, or things like that. And so but yeah, BJ is definitely one of my definite spiritual, just kind of guidances in my life. Very much she has always been in line with everything that I have tried to understand and to know. So, but man, yeah, it's really wild. So June, are you still here with us, or we got someone else here now? I saw the viewers dropped a little bit, so I didn't know if you were checking in, checking out, or what was going on. But my opinion of Wendigos or Skinwalkers. Sorry, reading your comment as I'm answering, leading into it. Your opinion of Wendigos or Skinwalkers, those stories always terrified me. So when it comes to Wendigos and Skinwalkers, I kind of have the mentality of, I mean, it'll probably get some laughs, but Bigfoot, El Chupacabra, the Loch Ness Monster, these different entities, these different monsters, or these different life forms that we don't understand. Wendigos and Skinwalkers, from my understanding with what the research I've done, is Native American lore, very much the idea of, there being something that was done to turn this person into said monster, or those that have the ability to embrace the powers of such, which it does get pretty out there. But in my opinion, I think that Wendigos and Skinwalkers are just the tip of the iceberg, honestly. There's definitely, they're very real. I've heard many different people, especially personal stories that have either been conveyed to me, like in passing, or different things like that. That a friend of ours actually did see what he claims was a Skinwalker, and which kind of made me think like, oh, what, really? And then I realized that the majority of the town and the county and almost like the state that I live in is covered in Native American burial ground. There was actually a BJ, again, same woman. I met her when I lived on the other side of the duplex that she lived in. And we had a big field out in our backyard. And at night, she would say that if you waited long enough and like kept quiet and just kind of, you were just one with everything, like not being a disturbance, you would actually hear and see an Indian rider at night. So, to answer your question with Wendigos or Skinwalkers, my opinion of them is that they are very real, in my opinion. They're just as real as anything else that we can't understand in this world. What, like I've talked about it before, but like national parks, people go missing in national parks at an alarming rate. Is it nature? Probably the good majority of it is nature, especially when you get into like the Smokies, or if you get into a place where there are very large predators. I remember hearing a guy talk about like bobcats and stuff, and he's like, they're not like scary. He's like, they're just the way he put it was that they're a pain in the ass. Like they're constantly hard to keep track of. They can attack. They can scare people. They found people in trees because of them. Hell, even a moose can be scary. When you're out in the woods, you're in, these creatures, a habitat, and, you're in their realm. Same thing as far as like the parts of nature that we don't understand, if we don't have any, access to in this, time. It's stuff that we've only heard about, or stuff that we can just have an opinion about. I very much would say Wendigos and Skinwalkers are very real. I would actually equate them to like the knotted deer, which I don't know if you've heard of, but it's the idea that when I believe it's either a type of Wendigo or a Skinwalker, but it's like a part of the Native American lore, is that there is a creature that looks like a deer but is not, and they're called, like, ironically enough, and they're called not a deer. I don't know exactly what they are. I don't know if it's like they're something, full creature like, or if they're supposed to be like mutated deers. I don't know, but because there are so many times that people that live out in the middle of nowhere will talk about like the things that they just get used to. Like, yeah, you're going to hear your name called. Don't go to it. If you leave anything in your car at night, leave it till morning. It can wait. It's worth it. It's not worth it to go out and go grab it. Again, is it paranormal? Is it nature? No, but I don't know. But what I can tell you is that it needs to be respected. And that's the biggest thing. And it's the idea of that it's like when you understand that you are not in your own environment, like this is not your playground. This is their playground. You are a guest. So be wise. So hope that answers your question. But yeah, Wendigos and Skinwalkers are very creepy and very scary, especially like in fiction when they're done really well. I really loved, some people gave this game crap, but I loved Until Dawn. Until Dawn was such a fun game because it kind of threw everything but the kitchen sink at you. Let's see here. I hear stories like this from a work friend who is native Hawaiian. Oh, really? So even Hawaii's got like, or even like that culture even has that. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen enough, I've heard enough, I've experienced enough. I have had my belief systems and everything like that, where it's like, people are like, you really believe Bigfoot's real? It's like, well, dude, coming from a Christian background, if I believe that a guy, if I believe that God created himself as a man and then died and rose from the dead, I think pretty much anything is believable. So, calling names from the dark forest. Yeah, that's what's really interesting, is that when you hear about people that have experienced, what was it? Corpse Husband did it in his National Parks video. Now, it was not his stories. It was stuff that was taken from Reddit. But essentially, there were many times that they would hear people or hear something that was trying to recreate what human vocal cords sounded like. And it's comical, like, when you just hear the surface level of it, but it was somebody literally in a low tone mouth noise saying meow. And it was the idea where it's like, so this is trying to lure, or this is trying to just be like, no, I'm just a cat, ha ha ha. Like, I don't know, it's really weird. But it's a more consistent thing than what people realize. So it's pretty wild. By the way, June, how's the music and the vocals and everything sound? Does everything sound like it's balanced well? Nothing sounds like it's like blowing out your ears or anything? Okay. Yeah, because that's probably one of the... to me, I think that besides the ocean, the forest is probably one of the scariest places to be, like, when you're unprepared. I mean, clearly, if you are in the woods and you have a way to dark and creepy, so it's perfect. Awesome. Thank you. But no, like, when you're out in the woods by yourself, it's, you can have the ability to, protect yourself with a weapon, or if you have the ability to build shelter, or if you have the ability to, survive, you can do that. But in the same hand is that if you're thrown into a situation where you don't have this equipment for whatever reason, it's just you in the woods. And that is a very, very intimidating thing. That is very scary. So, I am, definitely not somebody that would want to go into the woods by myself. We've even got woods in the area around here too. And it's like, I mean, I doubt that anything would ever happen, but, Ohio's kind of boring. So, like, not a lot of stuff happens here. You only hear about this crazier stuff in, like, bigger, like, national parks and stuff, but, does not mean that I'm about to go out there and try it out. So that is a definite thing. Yeah, this dark and creepy music is actually really good. I'm really digging it. All right. Well, I just looked at the time. I need to go let the dogs out, but who let the dogs out? But nevertheless, though, June, thank you for chilling with me and just letting me kind of get my bearings and stuff. We have some cool stuff. If you've not subscribed over onto the Cavecast, make sure you do it. It should be in the description. But Eric and I are completely reinventing and redoing our podcast, so that's going to be starting to come out again on every Friday here very soon. So, but thank you all for joining, especially anyone that popped in, but specifically June. Thank you for being here, and I will talk at you guys another time. Adios.